Welcome to a very special episode of Fitness and Finance. It's the Fitness and Finance radio show and podcast with our amazing hosts, Jeff Smith and Jennifer Scherer. I'm your co-host, Tony Shore. And today we're talking about the power of Pilates. Sunday.
Yes.
It's Monster Pilates Madness with Jennifer Scherer.
There's mud
Going up
everywhere.
against another amazing certified Pilates instructor, Jeffrey Smith. How about that?
Crowd
Perfect.
pleaser. That was a crowd pleaser right there.
Yeah. So people ask, right? What is Pilates? That's what you asked last time. In
I
layman's
asked
terms.
at the end of our last show, I'm like, you guys got to tell me, what is Pilates? Like, first of all, where's the word from? I'm going to go out and guess. I haven't looked. I don't know anything about it. I'm guessing Greek. It looks Greek and sounds Greek to me.
Interesting.
Actually,
Yeah, Joseph Pilates.
German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
German. You
Yeah.
got me on that one. Wow.
9. Tony, 9.
I wish I had it loaded up, but I have a great sound effect from Simpsons with Mr. Burns going, "Ooh, the Germans. I'm so scared. Ooh, the Germans." And they say, "Us Germans aren't all sunshine and smiles, you know." and then Mr. Burns goes, "Ooh, the Germans." So anyway, well, no, Pilates, that makes sense. I guess that could be a German word and is.
I
So,
think they're,
good.
that border with France. I mean, it seems, Pilates seems like it could be French, right?
Yeah,
So
at first I thought
there's-
French, and then when I looked at it, I said, "No, that's Greek to me." But
Yeah,
it is
well,
all
it could
Greek
be.
to me.
Yeah, I mean, it might as well be, right?
Yeah, it might as well be. So, talk to me about Pilates. What is it, Jennifer? Let's start
Joseph.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He developed the method. So his name is Joseph Pilates.
Uh-huh.
And he developed it in the early 20th century.
Friend of
And
yours?
no,
Just kidding.
no.
20th century.
No, the story goes it's he was injured or he was in
Confirm.
an internment camp.
Mm-hmm.
And
no.
yeah.
World War One.
Yeah, World
Oh,
War
yeah.
One.
Sure.
Okay. Jeff, you know it better than I do, probably.
He was at Isle of Man in
Yeah.
England.
Oh,
And
the Isle of Man. I know that well, actually. Seriously. That's where Rick Wakeman, the keyboard player from Yes, lived for years and years. Sorry, you got me off there.
That is an amazing pull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows where the guy from Yes lived.
Oh, he's a friend. Rick's a friend of mine. He's considered one of the greatest keyboard players in rock music history. So,
Mhm. Yeah. I mean,
anyway, go ahead.
besides Boston, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they're all the same.
No,
Okay.
they're not.
Oh, okay. No.
So tell us about. Okay, so he lived on the Isle of Man.
Well, he was in a camp there
A
because
camp there.
German national, and so
Okay.
the English had him, and he took the springs in his bed and created the first reformer. And I'm not sure if you know what a reformer is, but it looks like a contraption that will torture you, and sometimes it does, I think. But it's got a sled and a ton of springs that are varying degrees of strength. And you move back and forth on a foot bar. And it does have straps that you can put your feet in, your hands in, and all sorts of movement. But it's generated from the core primarily. Is the function of the reformer is to keep you in alignment, build core strength, and what else there?
Oh my gosh, the principles of Pilates. We just took our master level Pilates test, and that was one of the questions.
Right, you're master Pilates instructors. I assume you knew this stuff now.
Yeah,
we should.
Yeah. Well, in teaching it, the main thing I always start cueing with is breath. Right. It's like intentional, coordinated breathing to help facilitate the movement. And a lot of people, you don't realize they're holding their breath when they get to their first class. It's like, okay, we have to really remind them, take a deep breath in, exhale on the exertion. Concentration is a big piece of Pilates too. Like you have to really think about focusing on the area that you're trying to activate and really kind of making that mind-body connection. Originally, Pilates was called controlology. And that's another one of the principles is like you should perform every movement with like a complete muscular control. So there's no momentum. You have to really slow down and make sure you're feeling the full range of motion back and forth.
Hmm.
And you know,
Interesting.
you've heard the powerhouse, that term.
Yeah.
In Pilates, all movement comes from the powerhouse, which is it's a fancy word to say, you know, your core muscles,
Core, right?
right? But your core doesn't include just your abdominals. It's your lower back, it's your glutes, and it's your inner
Right.
thighs. It's kind of like the center of you, so to speak.
Wow. So this guy way back then was doing this, and it really centers on building the core or working the core. And I thought that was more of a trendy current term, like you've got to work on your core.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he created that term, the powerhouse. I don't think it encompassed, like Jennifer said, it encompasses more than just your six pack, so to speak.
Right.
But he really developed it primarily for boxers. He also found that his recovery was ridiculously faster than everybody else's because of the movements that he created. So so he tried to apply this to boxers, and the ironic thing was he set up shop and next to a dance studio, and now it's synonymous with dancers, right? So but the reality was the original intent was to train boxers to be stronger in that area, the core, and have more control, concentration, all of it, and the breathing, and being able to turn on muscle groups that just by thinking, hey, I need to interact with this muscle in order to do this. So it's creating leverage with your mind and your muscle connection, right? So and that's, if you've ever done like a lat pull down, and you think to yourself, I got to turn these lats on in order to make that movement. That's an easy one to try to describe, because that's a big muscle that is easy to turn on. Or if you need to do a calf raise, your calf is moving, right? But in order to get some of those complex movements, there are smaller muscle groups that you have to be able to fire and call when you need to. And that's what Pilates does, is it creates a tremendous amount of mind and body connection, and it's really necessary.
Yeah, it's all about smart movement. I think is we're not just cueing exercises. We're teaching people to move better and to understand their bodies. So a lot of times when you're watching a Pilates instructor, if you really listen to them, they're talking more about just they should be telling you a little bit about why you're doing it too. And that's kind of, I think, what makes, Balanced Body, them as an organization, which is who we use to get our certification. I feel like they design some of the best equipment out there in terms of like what we use. But in addition to that, they explain the why so that it's not just telling people what to do.
So Pilates, you do need specific equipment that is associated with Pilates. And is this equipment you can buy and have in your home? Or do you typically most people go to a Pilates studio or instructors and do it there, right?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, reformers are very popular, but you can do Pilates without any equipment, just mat Pilates.
Okay.
So, it's interesting how all the improvising that Pilates instructors can do with like attaching bands to a bar and lying down on their back and using that to simulate the straps. There's a lot of just different things that you can do to get that full experience, but without investing in an actual reformer.
Yeah, it's a significant investment if you're going to do it at home. And it's also an investment to train somewhere too. I mean, you are going to spend money in that area because it's highly specialized, and if you're doing it on your own, you should really know what you're doing. There's some moves and some things that you need assistance with and building up to. So there's some, just like anything, there's risk associated with doing it wrong.
Yeah, and I think whether you're brand new to movement, recovering from an injury, or even like a lifelong athlete, Pilates meets you where you are and kind of helps you level up. So it's nice because it's accessible for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean,
my daughter is doing it right now. She just started about, I want to say 2 months ago. She said, I'm going to take Pilates classes and do Pilates. And so she's doing it there's a local chain of them in the city. So she can do it out here. There's one here where we live in Stillwater. There's one in Minneapolis and one in St. Paul by her job. So yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the one thing about the Pilates style that we offer is that we do have unique pieces of equipment in the studio. So we have something called a core align, which was developed by a physical therapist. And there's 2 independent carts that with a ladder, and you can teach gait, you can teach movement mechanics, like being able to assess somebody's rotational movement and being able to, teach that core connection when you're in a plank, being able to use your core to pull the carts in. Not just muscling it, so it's those tiny, like Jeff was saying, those tiny movements that really help wake those stabilizer muscles up.
Yeah.
That help prevent injury.
Yeah.
And that's such a vital part of what we do. I mean, I love throwing, weights around in the gym. I really do. I love it, for a lot of different reasons, but, to keep my, myself away from the orthopedic, it's so vital to spend as much time as I can on a reformer or on the chair. I enjoy that, the tower and core line, of course, and all the fun stuff that we have. We have all the equipment.
So you mentioned planking. I mean, planking is something I've done and heard about. We used to have at Gradient Financial in the marketing department, we have a lot of 20 somethings that work there. And I remember I've been there 12 years, but for like the first couple of years, like at least a few times a week, they go, okay, we're going to plank now. I'm like, we're what now? And they had me down there planking. It's like, what's going on here?
Wow, that's great. How did it feel?
Hard. It's like, why are we putting ourselves through this? Is there a reason?
Well, most people say I didn't even realize I had muscles there after their first session.
Yes. Yeah. I bet, especially with the overall Pilates and a lot of what you're talking about. I bet, you're talking about muscles and really stretching them in different ways or using them in different ways or trying to work them and connect with them in different ways. I bet you're like, oh, wow. Okay. I've got muscles there. I feel that. You can feel it, right?
Well, and we have these reformers that have 3 levels of strength that you can go up to. So the springs go up onto like a platform where they connect.
Yeah.
And obviously the further stretched they are, the more difficult they are to move. So there's 3 levels to the reformer that we have. And I can tell you, I mean, as somebody who can squat a fair amount of weight, you will be challenged by it. And there's ways to burn those muscles and exhaust those muscles that you just can't do or replicate in the gym. So it is, for those who think it's about dancing and kind of and even, I mean, heck, dancers are some of the most strong people.
You have to have an amazing core to do it well.
Yeah, my gosh, and understanding how movement happens. I mean, just look at a dancer, So, but it is an incredible workout. So, it's not just for women. I want to make sure we're clear on that. It's not just for women. It is a very challenging workout for guys. And I think, like I said, Pilates designed it for boxers. And if you watch any of the old videos of him, he is not gentle. It is incredible. He's like shoving down. He's like, he's like moving their he's got their. It's all this movement. And
he calls it the spine corrector.
The spine corrector. I mean, they have names like that, like the spine corrector.
Yeah, that's gonna scare people away.
And I guess some people think that they have to be flexible, to start. You don't have to be flexible to do Pilates. You come to Pilates to become more flexible.
Sure.
And I always laugh when people think it's too easy. Like try a session and then we'll talk.
Yeah, it's not easy.
And it's not hard in a way of like weight training hard. It's a sneaky kind of hard because you're not necessarily pushing a lot of resistance. It's more about being slow and mindful. And so a lot of times that's hard for people to stay in it and to not just do one and move on, to the next. You have to stay in it and breathe and, control your body. I can tell you, I've trained in a lot of modalities, but Pilates changed the way I move and even the way I train and teach. I feel like it's made all of my training as a personal trainer and medical exercise better. I'm super thankful for the education
Yeah.
that I've.
Well,
that
it must be something for both of you, and especially, you know, I know you've done a lot, especially in the gym, Jeff and Jennifer. You obviously have done a lot of physical training with people in what you do. So when you're asked the questions, if you had to pick just one thing for people, what was the exact question that they wanted you to answer?
Yeah, on the segment.
If you had to pick one exercise that helped your that translated to your retirement plan, that helped your retirement plan, what would that be?
Mm.
And we both picked Pilates for sure.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
One physical exercise that if you do now, it's going to improve your retirement.
That's right, exactly.
And you said if you had to pick just one, it would be Pilates.
Correct.
Yeah.
And why?
Well, I mean, the thing is that, I mean, and Jennifer's seen this over the course of, 3 years, or, my posture has changed dramatically because of it. And, the things that it does, it brings your body in alignment, right? So it forces you to relearn patterns and movement, but it makes you come in alignment. And if you do it enough, if you do it over time.
So you're saying it helped your posture?
Yeah, I mean, think about the fact that we're constantly huddled over, looking at our tiny phones.
Yep. I'm kind of like right now. I'm kind of leaning in.
Right.
Yep.
And you've got, I mean, there's no real awareness of that until later when you're going, oh, my traps hurt. My neck hurts, and and I noticed that all the time, that my traps were always sore, and I just thought it was because I was weightlifting, but it was because I didn't hold myself up.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't use my my scapular muscles. I was using, my traps, and I was, anyway, the whole point is, I mean, that alone, through time, if you watch the progression of people, who kind of, and I did this yesterday, sorry, but you see people just kind of huddle over.
Oh yeah.
And those are risky, and a risky evolution, right?
Leads to more health issues the more hunched over and you get, and it's a natural evolution for people, especially now. And as you get older and people are looking down at their keyboards, looking down, hunched over things. So I agree with that. And so the statement that Pilates improved your posture is great. I just wish that, Jeff, that it had improved your attitude. I wish, if only Pilates, your posture is great. Now we need a little attitude adjustment.
I can tell you what I like about it as a medical exercise. It's really gentle for seniors, and yet also can be super challenging.
So older people, you don't have to start when you're younger. You can do Pilates if somebody's older.
Oh yeah, I mean, whether you're recovering from surgery,
even my age, I could do Pilates.
Oh my gosh, Tony, yes, you could easily do it.
My dad actually just had his knee replaced, and I got him on the reformer, and he went and sought after a physical therapist that offered that style of therapy, because it really did help his range of motion. It makes a big difference. Even if you're pregnant, I mean, you can do Pilates.
Certain things,
yeah.
But I mean,
good news for you, Jeff.
It's a new America, Tony. It's a new America.
I'm not pregnant, but I am eating for two.
You have a viable foodist.
And I think personally, when I started doing it, just speaking for myself, it's enhanced all my other movements. I do Muay Thai, and I swim, and I hike, and I bike. Pilates is like the one thing that it's almost, I consider it a movement amplifier. It helps me with my balance, my endurance, my focus, my coordination, and just my control. It makes me feel deep, almost like stability. Like when you feel that strength in the joints, you just stand taller,
and
and you feel stronger. And I can't really put it in words. And so it's a feeling. But Pilates gets to that level. Yeah.
And I think the reason I sought out Jennifer to work with was because of Pilates, because I had done, everything I could in endurance sports. I was, riding 100-mile bike rides. I ran a marathon, done those things. I trained for the triathlon, and I realized that my core was not getting stronger as a result of cycling. It requires a ton of core, but it does not build the core. And and then, you couple that with really tight hamstrings when you do endurance sports. It just happens. You can stretch and you can do some stuff to try to fight it. But if you're riding 100 miles, I was riding 140 miles a week, and
Wow.
20 miles a day, every day. And, your hamstrings just get super tight and it's harder to walk. I thankfully didn't have it to that extreme, but I started, reading, and I'm not a yogi, not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just not that guy. Don't want to do all that. But I looked at Pilates and I just took to it, and it made a huge difference in all of my movement. Like Jennifer said, I was able to jump higher. I was,
Wow.
I do more. Endurance got easier. And there's a component of suffering in there. If you're doing it right, and you're truly controlling the movement, you're going to feel it. You're going to have a little bit of suffering, and mentally, it goes a long way when you're able to overcome something difficult in the gym.
And
So
not to mention-
it can positively affect your attitude, right?
It sure has.
I'm telling you, it's
Go-
fun.
Is it?
Add another F to the.
Yes.
It's fun. So Jennifer, why is you really enjoy it then? It's not
Oh, my
just
goodness, yes.
you think Pilates is fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's so
That's good.
many different props that you can bring into it,
Mhm.
which I love. There's a box, there's rings, there's a little ball, there's a jump board, there's a platform extender. Oh, there's a
You can do
oh my
weights.
gosh, so
You
much
can use
that you can
dumbbells.
do.
Huh.
I mean, it's endless. I could probably I'm honestly thousands of exercises.
Yeah, thousands.
Different exercises.
Wow. So I
Yes.
guess that's one more reason why, if you had to pick one exercise
Yes.
for people
Mhm.
to
So
be healthier in retirement or as they age, Pilates would be it, because it can incorporate
gets
so
boring.
many things.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had clients for 10 years and we literally, she asked me if we could do the same class again because she wants to feel like, she's mastering it. Because my goal is, to
Right.
constantly kind of keep the muscles
Changing.
guessing. And she's like, Jennifer, I really want to do this session again next week because I want to master these. So I'm like, yes, that means that
It's a
I've
good
challenged
attitude.
her body. I've challenged her body. She didn't feel 100% on it, but she wants to keep trying so that she can, master
That's
the
a
movement.
really good sign.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's a really good feeling when you understand what you should be doing and how the movement should feel.
Yeah, and we to sort of bring the finance part into this, we have made it more accessible and less expensive by offering a Saturday class that Jennifer and I run together as two master level Pilates instructors, and we're doing a six people and.
Yep. 6 people, but there's basically 5 different apparatus that they're rotating. It's a circuit style class. So for about 8 minutes, you're going to be on one apparatus, and then you rotate every 8 minutes. You rotate. So by the end of the class, you've gotten on all of the apparatus that we have. And so you got on the chair, the reformer, the tower, the arc, and the core line.
Yeah. And to our knowledge, no one else has that same ability to do that except for us because of all the equipment that we have. A lot of people have reformers, and that is a very popular piece of equipment in this town and in Northern Virginia in general. But there are people who have private studios that have a chair, have a tower, have stuff like that. But from a group setting, it's very rare to have.
Pretty unique to have it all and be able to rotate and use everything and try everything. And
right.
It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is fun.
It's been exciting to build that out and designing it.
Yes. And we're learning from it too, because if someone walks in the door that has never even seen the equipment, it's almost, we have to really rethink our timing, because if you're on a piece of equipment for 8 minutes and you've never seen it before, and you're in a room with 6 other, with a total of 6 people, it requires us to pay, a little bit more attention to that person to make sure they're safe and they're understanding the movement pattern. So I always say, before you jump into a class like that, expose yourself to some private sessions, just so that, you feel confident and you feel like, okay, at least I know the strength.
Yeah, you might need a couple private sessions first to get used to the equipment, and then you could jump in and be able to
helps.
rotate. Yeah.
So Tony, does this mean after this show you're gonna sign up with your daughter to go to a Pilates class?
Yeah.
I'm not, but she has talked to me about it.
Mhm.
I think she really is. She's getting a lot out of it.
That's
And
awesome.
she just started, she's just getting
Mhm.
going, and she
Yeah.
really likes it. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
You
she
should
goes on
try.
a regular basis. I mean, a
Mhm.
lot. So
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
good.
She likes it. It is good. Yeah, I wish if I lived close to you guys, I'd get I'd pay for some private instruction.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in for the group setting yet.
Well, we're going to offer more beginner level
Mhm.
Yeah.
sessions as well, where it's not.
Yeah. I need a beginner level and not have, 6 other people staring at me while I, fall off while I wrestle with a reformer and it comes out on top. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think the reformer might get the best of me.
Maybe at first, but
Reformer 1, Tony
Don't
0.
overthink it, Tony. Just
I
try
know.
one class.
I
Yeah,
know. I
You
won't
don't have to be
overthink
in
it.
shape.
here's the thing: they don't have kale at the end of it,
Right.
so you're good. You're good. You can do
I
this.
probably
Open
should eat
mind.
kale at the end of it though, but
Open
yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Tony,
Keep an
I
open
feel like
mind.
this is Tony's mind. He's like, if I go to a Pilates class, that means I'm gonna have to eat kale. And if I have to eat kale, I have to go to pizza. He's like, no, it's not worth it.
Not worth it.
He's like, I'm checking out of this.
No, I think from everything you've said, it is worth it. And I'd
Yes.
encourage our listeners and viewers. Now, whether it's a financial plan or Pilates or getting in shape or making sure you're doing the right things for your health, how can our listeners and viewers get a hold of you before we go today?
So visit our website at fbergfitness.com, or you can call us at 540-479-1877.
All right. Hey, when are you going to do the 541
What's happening?
Wait, what
studio? What? Isn't that 541?
That's kind of what we just described it.
Yeah. The you mean this?
But the website. Because you gave out the Fberg Fitness website. Isn't there a 541 website?
There is, and it's yes. We're gonna try to redirect it so that the 541 goes to, we're trying to figure out how all that works.
Yeah.
With the redirect, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about merging
Yeah.
two or three entities here, so it's
It's still an ongoing. I was just curious for our listeners and viewers because you gave the Fberg Fitness web address again, and I'm like, I thought you had it all under one roof, or they could go to one place, but you haven't gotten that set up yet.
Not yet,
Yeah.
but we will. Our book is going to be published soon, and once
that comes out, we're really going to discuss how those two things merge and how we've figured out the best way to help everybody that walks in the door.
We'll give away a few copies on the show for our listeners and viewers. Yeah. Well, the first 10 people to request a copy of the book, we'll do that as a giveaway once the book is out.
And once our producer will not listen to that, Jen, for long. Just don't listen to that. It's fine. Someone will pay for it, I promise.
Yeah, right.
She said no free books.
Yeah.
She said no free books.
Yeah, that's what
I agree. I agree with that actually. Even your friends and family, make them go to Amazon. But for your listeners for the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to do like 5-10 copies.
Oh yeah.
You got to seed the market.
That's right.
I'll talk to the producer. I'll talk to her and I'll explain how marketing works. You see,
there you go.
The market. I've worked on records in the music industry that have sold millions of copies. We were talking about one of the bands I worked with earlier, and you see the way the labels did is you have to seed the market a little bit. With books, book sales are hard to come by. So you do need every sale if you want to get the numbers, because you want the numbers, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interestingly enough, I got an email from someone who bought my testimony book that I wrote a few years ago. Today, I got an email out of nowhere saying it changed. I woke up.
I remember that book. I know that book.
Yeah. My Father's Grace. The lady, she said that it impacted her.
So neat.
Wow,
I could have said
great.
where on the body did the book touch you?
Yeah, show us on the doll where my book touched you.
That's
bad.
That's
bad.
No. Can we please go back to that and edit it, please?
Yeah, we can.
Mitch, please. That was hideous.
All right, here we go.
Embarrassed.
Here we go. All right. So I can't wait for the book, and I am more informed on Pilates now. I think
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. And again, listeners, if you have any questions, fbergfitness.com, or you can call Jeff Smith, the retirement Smith, at 540-371-9777. How about that?
Sounds great.
Love
How
it.
Thanks,
about
Tony.
them
Thank you.
apples? Yep. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Jennifer. And listeners, that does it for today's episode of Fitness and Finance with Jeffrey Smith and Jennifer Scherer.